I like signatures on my comics. So I'm going to share them with you. What's up, everybody? Hey, first things first. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It is definitely appreciated, and it definitely goes a long way to helping the channel out. So, with that being said, man, I'm ready to show off some of these books. So, I love getting signatures when I go to cons. The ones that I mainly go to are Heroes Con, MegaCon, and this year, for the first time, I will be making a trip to San Diego Comic Con, which I am so excited about. But honestly, I'm a little bit intimidated by it also. But that's for a future conversation to have. Right now, I want to show off these comics, and I'm happy about it. So, anyway, with that being said, sit back, relax, because I have a whole short box of these that I'm going to share. Now, I do have comic capsules, and probably the comics that I have the most, or the comics that I cherish the most, I guess, that are signed, I plan on putting on my wall and displaying. And I'm not finished with the wall, but I feel like I have a good start, you know? Um, I just need more comic capsules. So I'll just go ahead and show you real quick what I have on the wall so far. So these are my most precious comics, I guess. So these, I'm not finished with this wall, but this is what I have up right now. So up there you see the Absolute Batman first printing signed by Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. And then this was the Fan Expo that I got at MegaCon, which is signed by John Boy Myers, who did the cover, as well as Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta right there. And then you have Superman #1, signed by Joshua Williamson and Cale New, I believe. And then, of course, the all-time classic first printing of Superman 75, The Death of Superman, signed by Brett Breeding over here and Dan Jurgens. Deadpool #1, signed by Scotty Young from his run. And then The Amazing Spider-Man. This is signed by the whole team. You got Zeb Wells on there, John Romita Jr., Scott Hanna. So you got the whole gang. So yeah. And that is a book that I got done by Bobby Breed, who did this blank cover for me. He knows I'm a Deadpool fan. I love Deadpool. So it's kind of like a tribute to the Eagles, my favorite NFL team, if you couldn't tell. From them winning the Super Bowl last year. So that, I love that. And then the first printing of Wolverine, the Legacy issue #400, but this is the Daniel Warren Johnson cover, which was hot, and I didn't realize how hot it was going to be. But yeah, first printing. The second printing, Wolverine, it's not red. I forget what color it is, but the first printing, the original printing, is in red. So yeah, signed by Daniel Warren Johnson. Nice. So not bad, right? Not bad. And by the way, that Absolute Batman #1 that I have signed by uh, Scott Snyder, I was drawing a blank. Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. That is the first printing. I'm so glad that I added that on my pull list as soon as it was announced, pretty much. So man, that's just like, and I'm looking up at it right now, so I'm not just like off into space. It's right there behind the camera on the wall. But yeah, no, it's pretty awesome, man. It's pretty awesome to have. And what I didn't mention is right behind it, because I have all of those books. They're still bagged and boarded inside the comic capsule. On the back side of that board, with the Absolute Batman, I have as well. I have the Absolute Batman ash can from San Diego Comic Con that year, and I also have that signed by Nick Dragotta and Scott Snyder. I'm drawing my mind, man. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. I should have that out for display instead of behind there, I guess. But yeah, so that is what it is. So anyway, 3 more comic capsules that I have yet to hang yet is Transformers #1. This cover was freaking amazing, right? Signed by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. So, yeah, man. Thankfully, I'm glad Mike Spicer was at Heroes Con last year when I got him to sign this because, he was battling cancer, which nobody was really truly aware of. But, at the time, he was recovering, he was doing good. Happy for him. So I was happy to get his signature with D-Dub on this freaking amazing cover, man. This is awesome. So, yeah, that's going to go on the wall eventually. Speaking of Transformers #1, the first printing, this one's signed Daniel Warren Johnson and Spicer as well. I mean, gotta love it, right? So I had to have that. And this X-Men #1, not my original copy that I had as a kid, but still nonetheless, I've had it for a while. Chris Claremont signed it at MegaCon this year. By the way, I will be going to MegaCon, but at MegaCon this year, I'm going to get Jim Lee to sign it because Jim Lee is going to be there, and I did get the Jim Lee experience. So, Claremont and Jim Lee signing the #1 top-selling comic book of all time. Yep. So I'm going to try to move along fairly quickly because I got a lot. This stack plus a whole lot more. So I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. Anyway, this right here, Batman Spawn, signed by Todd McFarlane and Frank Miller. I mean, come on, legendary, right? Legendary. Last year at MegaCon, Todd McFarlane, he had a raffle or a lottery system or whatever to hopefully have a chance to get a ticket for his autograph. It was free, which was awesome. But if you won, you got one signature only. So I contemplated, I debated. I'm like, what do I want to get signed by Todd McFarlane? Because obviously I won, right? There's the ticket, given the time, my time to go and get in line, which was like 2.5 hours. It was wild. Super cool experience though. So I contemplated on what I wanted to get signed between this, Spawn #1, because I have that as well. And there's a couple of other things. So I ultimately, obviously, chose to get this signed because I knew Frank Miller was going to be there. And I thought, how cool would it be to have two legendary comic book creators' signatures on one book? And this was the book? I mean, no brainer, right? So yeah, Todd McFarlane, Frank Miller. Bam. I love this book. I tried to put this in a comic capsule, but the actual book itself is kind of too thick to go fit in the comic capsule. So maybe one day I can. We'll see. Maybe it could be one of the first books I get CGC graded. Of course, in person, in show at Heroes Con. But yeah, I'm not mailing it off. Don't trust it. And Frank Miller. So this was a book I actually bought a few years ago. This is a variant for Frank Miller's 300, but this cover was done by Aranga D, and which I did an interview with or had a conversation with last year at Heroes Con. You can check it out about his new book that's about to drop, Eternal. There's a Kickstarter going on right now as well. I don't know how many days left, but definitely check it out. Anyway, this was a cover he did for Frank Miller's 300, and he signed that. Never thought I would get Frank Miller's signature on it, but guess what? I did. So absolutely grateful, thankful, and love the fact that I have this. So yeah. And another one. This is done by this cover, Frank Miller's 300. This is signed by Tyler Kirkham as well as Frank Miller. So this is awesome. And on the back, the certificate of authenticity. I got this signed at Tyler Kirkham. I got this signed at MegaCon as well last year. So yeah, pretty awesome to have. Now this book right here is I also did a video, Youngblood #1. I flew out to Golden Apple Comics last year, flew across the country to LA, went to Golden Apple Comics for the release of this. Pretty awesome. So I got the chisel signature as well as his, normal signature. He won't do the chisel signature without doing his regular signature. So which is cool, but also the certificate of authenticity that was designated for Golden Apple for this event. So yeah, definitely awesome to have. Also, Youngblood #1, another variant, Rob Liefeld signature, as well as another COA. I got a lot of Youngblood stuff. Youngblood, the original Youngblood #1, signed again by Rob Liefeld. Uh, yeah, this I love Youngblood. I love Youngblood, and I'm happy that he's brought it back. Rob Liefeld, COA once again, and he signs all of his COAs as well, which I guess that's pretty cool. Giant size Youngblood, he signed it. Got I guess it's like the generic COA or whatever, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Yeah, this was kind of a homage to Giant Size X-Men that Rob Liefeld credited for actually kind of getting him into comic books as a kid when that came out. So this is kind of like his homage to Giant Size X-Men, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, Giant Size Youngblood. Very low print run of this as well. So I'm very happy and fortunate to have that in my collection. And then, of course, another Youngblood variant signed by him. And again, the COA. Again, two different covers, but kind of the same idea. But yeah, pretty cool. I like this cover a lot, actually. That's a good one, I think. So now, Absolute Batman #1. I have a good amount of these. Like, I have some variants for Absolute Batman #1. But this last year, I got this because Jorge Jimenez was at MegaCon last year, and I got this variant cover that he did, and it's signed by Scott Snyder, Nick Dragotta, and Jorge Jimenez right there in black ink. So yeah, I also have a poster of this cover as well, which is not signed, but maybe one day. But yes, this is pretty awesome. So really happy to have that. Like I said, I have more Absolute Batman #1s. This is a John Boy Myers. I think it was a MegaCon exclusive, if not a Fan Expo maybe. But yeah, so the foil Virgin variant, Dragotta, John Boy Myers, and Scott Snyder. So yeah, love that one. And then also a John Boy Myers cover of Absolute Wonder Woman, and that's only signed by John Boy Myers. Now Hayden Sherman, he is going to be at MegaCon. I believe he's going to be at MegaCon this year, I think. And if so, this will be getting signed by him, as well as this one, which I don't have Kelly Thompson. She's kind of hard to find at a convention, so I don't know if or when I will get her signature on these Absolute Wonder Woman covers that I or books that I have. But yeah, so I do plan on getting Hayden Sherman on this, as well as the Virgin foil variant of that, which, John Boy Myers, that blue pops really nice, by the way. So that was good on John Boy Myers' part. And again, Absolute Superman #1, John Boy Myers cover, signed by Rafa Sandoval, and of course John Boy Myers. But Jason Aaron will be at MegaCon this year, so yeah, these will be going with me as well. All of my Absolute Superman #1s will be going to MegaCon with me to get Jason Aaron's signature finally. So that's going to be cool to have a triple signature on this, as well as, once again, the foil variant for that cover. And then also Ultimate Spider-Man #1, who I have yet to get Jonathan Hickman to sign, but I do have Marco Cicchetto. Please, someone tell me how to pronounce his last name, because I've heard it different ways. I have Marco Cicchetto, his signature on here, which is awesome. So I'm just waiting for an opportunity to get Jonathan Hickman's signature on Absolute Spider-Man #1, the first printing, yes. And then this was a blank cover that I got for being a backer on this right here. As you can see, Heroes Be Damned. And they were at Heroes Con last year. And if you prove that you were a backer on their Kickstarter for this, he gave Vince Sunuko, forgive me if I mispronounced that, but he was doing a free sketch on the blank variant, and this is what he gave me. This was awesome. So I love this. This as well he did, and this I absolutely love this. It's the main character from the book, balling Deadpool up. That's what I kind of wanted him to do, and this is what he came up with. So it's freaking awesome. But yeah, so that, and he did sign this right there as well as him. He signed this one as well. Ultimate Wolverine #1, done by Tyler Kirkham, signed by Chris Condon and Tyler Kirkham, of course. Really awesome cover. COA. Man, Tyler Kirkham, man, he's an amazing artist. So I also got Deadpool Wolverine #1, done by Tyler Kirkham. But Tyler Kirkham signed it right here, and Benjamin Percy signed it right there, which really awesome. Love those covers, man. And speaking of which, this is Wolverine #31. This cover was given out, or this book was given out at MegaCon 2023, the Fall of X panel giveaway. This is a Lionel Francis Yu cover of Wolverine 31 from Benjamin Percy's run, which he signed right there. Benjamin Percy. Really cool cover. I don't think there's a lot of these. I don't know, just because it was at MegaCon given away at that panel. So really cool, really cool. And this is kind of a special one to me as well. Vanish #1, signed by Ryan Stegman and Donny Cates. A D-Dub cover. I don't know why I overlooked this to get Daniel Warren Johnson to sign this. So guess what? This is going to be triple signed, because this is going to go to Heroes Con with me to get Daniel Warren Johnson to sign this. He's always at Heroes Con. Cool to have him back. So he signed this last year. Ryan Stegman, like I said. Daniel Warren Johnson's signature is going to be coming on this too. Can't wait. And this cover was probably my favorite cover from all of last year. Probably one of my all-time favorite covers as well. But Dan Panosian on Resurrection Man Quantum Karma #1. Freaking, I don't know what it is about this cover. I can't pinpoint it, but this cover right here is freaking awesome. Dan Panosian, and he did sign it right here. Kind of like a word bubble kind of deal. But yeah, freaking awesome, man. Love this cover. I can't explain it, but one of my all-time favorites right here. Awesome. And this one is really cool. Secret Wars #1. It is the Books A Million variant cover, signed by Jonathan Hickman, of course. And he signed it in black, and he actually signed it in a dark spot. So right there's Jonathan Hickman's cover signature on Secret Wars #1, the Books A Million variant cover. Yeah, so yeah, I got this signed by Jonathan Hickman at Heroes Con 2022. So yeah, that's a really cool one to have in my collection. Zorro, Man of the Dead, #1, signed by, or it's a Lee Bermejo variant, but this is signed by Sean Gordon Murphy. Of course, this is a where is it? Midtown Comics. So I got it from there. I didn't get this done in person. So yeah, that's pretty cool though. That Lee Bermejo cover, that's sick though. Dark Ride #1, signed by Joshua Williamson. I love this story by Joshua Williamson. It's really cool, man. So yeah, Joshua Williamson, got him to sign issue #1. Pray for the Sinner, man. So I got this. This, first of all, Bobby Breed did this cover. Freaking awesome. Really, really love it. I got the whole creative team to sign it though. Forgive me, but I'm not. I think Marat Michaels is one of the creators on here. Of course, Bobby Breed, who did the cover, and forgive me, I don't know. I forget who this third signature is. But yeah, really awesome cover. Really awesome cover. And here's some like really, really small indie books, but really cool though. Benchmark 5 #1 from Essential Comics. So I got, forgive me, but he's usually there. Well, these guys, they're usually at Heroes Con. But Benchmark 5 #1 signed, as well as issue #2 of the Benchmark 5 signed. Yeah, pretty awesome. And then is also from Essential Comics, Victory Girl. I got, yeah. So Victory Girl, this is the convention edition, and he wrote, "Thank you for supporting Essential Comics." And on the back as well, this is the Victory Girl preview edition, #1 from Essential Comics. So pretty cool guys, man. I picked this up while I was at Golden Apple Comics because they had this there. So Planet Death #1, it was a Golden Apple exclusive variant. They weren't there when I got this, when I picked this up, but this was already signed from a signing that they previously had from when I was there. So yeah, pretty cool to have. Pretty cool. And also Warline by Compton. Yeah. So yeah, he signed issue #1, Warline. He signed it right there. Issue #2, he also signed it right here, as well as issue #3. Where did he say? I signed it right there. Really cool book. If you can get your hands on it, check it out. Definitely recommend. And then Canceled by David Byrne, issue #1. Signed that. As well as Dusk County, Canceled, also signed by David Byrne, right there. Black Caravan Premiere, Canceled. Not sure which issue this is, but he signed it right there. And Grim Fairy Tales. This is the 2022 May the 4th cosplay special. This is signed by Bobby Breed right there, because he did something in here as well. Pretty cool. And then of course we all know Eternal, the Ashcan, signed by Aranga D and David Byrne. Got this at Heroes Con last year when I again I had a conversation, and it was about this and what's coming with this. And right now they do have a Kickstarter active for issue 1. Not as of the filming of this, I'm not sure how much longer that it has, but definitely go check it out on Kickstarter. Yeah, because the Ashcan was really good. So yeah, can't wait to get that first issue. And moving on. So Deadpool #1 from Cody Ziegler's run. This is the second printing cover. I picked this up in California when I was out there on a separate time. I believe that is Cody Ziegler's signature. It was at the comic book store. So yeah, I believe that is Cody Ziegler's signature. Let me know, because they said it was, but I don't know. Deadpool #1. This is from Alyssa Wong's run, but this is a Kyra Andrews cover of #1. Love the cover, man. Love the cover. And of course, this is signed by Alyssa Wong. She signed it right there. And Kyra Andrews right there. So that's that. And this is the Virgin variant right here that both of them signed as well. Yeah. And you can't really tell too much right now, but I was mad. I was really mad because when I got Kyra Andrews to sign it, I accidentally smudged the signature a little bit. I was so mad about that. But it actually it ended up not looking as bad as I thought it would. But, man, be careful when you get those signatures, man. X-Men #1, signed by Ryan Stegman. So, yeah. Doom #1, that giant size one shot. Yeah, that Sanford Green, he signed right here. Sanford Green was actually at Heroes Aren't Hard to Find, my LCS, not long after this came out, and he was doing a signing. So I picked this up, and he signed it, which was really awesome. I think this was actually not long before Heroes Con that year. So yeah, pretty cool. I would love to get Jonathan Hickman's signature on this as well one day, hopefully. And then speaking of Sanford Green, I got Black Lightning #1. Man, this cover is awesome. This cover is just everything right here. And he signed it. His Sanford Green's color, the cover. He signed it right there along the side, right there. See? Pretty cool. Love that cover, man. And Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. This is signed by Ryan Ottley and Benjamin Piercy, because they both have work in this book. These Black, White, and Bloods, as you probably already know, they're all like anthology books and stuff. So, yeah, always a potential to get a lot of signatures on those. And this one, Justice League Road to Dark Crisis. I got 2 signatures on this: Joshua Williamson and let's see, Joshua Williamson and Philip Kennedy Johnson, right there. Those 2 signatures right there, pretty cool. And this one I got from Midtown Comics, Lucky Devils #1. This is signed by Charles Soule and Ryan Brown, the artist. But yeah, I got this from there because when I was at MegaCon, Charles Soule was there, and I did bring my copy. Ryan Brown was there as well, but I complete dumb. I completely forgot about getting Brown's signature on this as well. So I only got Charles Soule's on here. So I was like, you know what? I can get them both on here from Midtown for cover price. So I was like, okay. And this was after the fact, by the way, after Heroes Con. So got those. And Charles Soule also signed Star Wars The High Republic Shadow of Starlight #1. So Charles Soule signed it right here. Pretty cool. I love that cover, man. All the lightsabers. Pretty cool. Deadpool, the Despicable Deadpool, signed by Scott Koblish and Jerry Duggan, right there. Spoiler, right? Pretty cool. I like that. I like Scott Koblish, man. He's a really cool guy. More Tyler Kirkham stuff. Ninja Funk #1. I don't know if this is a very. I never actually read this. I thought the cover was really cool, and it's Tyler Kirkham, but it's a homage to this Spider-Man cover. So yeah, Tyler Kirkham signed it right there. COA. Boom. Another Tyler Kirkham cover. This is a Transformers. I don't know which issue. But it's like a 10th printing. Not a 10th, but like it's a. Yeah, I don't know. It's the 7th printing or something of one of the Transformers issues. I'm not sure, but Tyler Kirkham signed it. COA. This is a different one. Certificate of Authenticity. Tyler Kirkham exclusive. Yeah, that's a little different than the other ones that I have from him. And then Wolverine Revenge #1 with Greg Capullo signature on it. Again, another one I hope to get Hickman to sign. And a Greg Capullo on one of his variant covers for Frank Miller's 300. Greg Capullo right there. So another one that I'm working on getting multiple signatures on. Right now, I only have one, which is Jeremy Adams, but this is Flash 800. Celebration of Wally West. This came out right at the end of Jeremy Adams' run on the Flash. So I got him to sign this, and there's a whole slew of names down here. Hopefully, I can get multiple signatures, more signatures on here as well. Jeff Johns, Mark Waid, Joshua Williamson, Steve Spurrier, blah blah blah. There's a lot. So hopefully I can get more on here. But Jeremy Adams so far. And then speaking of Jeremy Adams, I like that guy, man. He's so cool. Aquaman #1. So Jeremy Adams and John Timms, he also signed us, the artist, which is an amazing artist. He's an amazing artist as well. So yeah, Aquaman #1. And some more Jeremy Adams, Green Lantern Civil War Special #1, signed by right there, Jeremy Adams. And then just Green Lantern #1. Jeremy Adams signed this. I think that's the only thing. Yep. Jeremy Adams signed Green Lantern #1. And then Green Lantern #16, Jeremy Adams signed. But this was the first Green Lantern issue, part of the All In era. So I thought that would be pretty cool to have signed as well. So yeah, so Jeremy Adams. Love that guy. Daredevil #1. Just like Spider-Man or Ultimate Spider-Man #1, I only have Chiquetto's signature. So I'm hoping for Chip Zdarsky one day, because I have some things I want to get him to sign, hopefully. So, but yeah, Daredevil #1. This Chip Zdarsky run, he made me a Daredevil fan. So I've said that multiple times. So happy to have that signed so far. Deadpool Wolverine. Yep, Benjamin Piercy signed this. Deadpool Wolverine #1, just the cover A. Benjamin Piercy signed this. I would love to get Joshua Cassera to sign it, the artist. But yeah, really cool stuff. Get that situated. And more Deadpool Wolverine. This is the the Lee Bermejo variant. So he signed it right here. Benjamin Percy signed it right there. And this is the Virgin variant. Same thing. So, and then Deadpool #1 foil variant. Cale New signed this. No, I'm sorry, not Cale New. Inyuk Lee. He did this cover and he signed it right there. I bought the cover. I bought this book at Heroes Aren't Hard to Find, and I brought it with me. I just never took it out. The regular, normal, original bag and board. And then Ultimate Wolverine #1, signed by Chris Condon. Yep, and I like that. It's pretty cool. He wrote the little sneak. And then Ultimate Wolverine Ultimate Universe 1 year in #1 one shot, signed by Chris Condon. But it's like this was the first appearance of the Ultimate Wolverine. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, moving on. The Death of the Justice League #75. This is kind of what kicked off the whole Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths event. And so yeah, this is signed by Joshua Williamson, and I like how he liked do the little star thing. But yeah, this is a little prelude issue. But Joshua Williamson signed it. Pretty cool. And of course, Dark Crisis #1, signed by Joshua Williamson. I really liked that event. It was pretty cool. Invincible Universe Battle Beast #1. This was from a blind bag I got and it was Arthur Adams, a 1 in 50. And I got it signed by Arthur Adams at HeroesCon last year. So pretty cool. I still have the blind bag that I pulled it from. So yeah, pretty cool. Transformers, another John Boy Myers cover. This is also like a 3rd or 4th printing or something like that. No, I don't believe it is. I don't know. But anyway, Transformers #1, John Boy Myers cover. He signed it right there. I should get D-Dub to sign this as well. Yeah, I'll probably bring this. We'll see. Absolute Batman #1, the Noir edition, signed by Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. Told you I have different versions of that. This one also, Absolute Batman #2. This is the Daniel Warren Johnson variant cover, who I did get signed. He did sign that, but now I'm hoping to get Scott Snyder and hopefully Nick Dragotta to sign this as well. But yeah, definitely Scott Snyder at MegaCon. So yeah, that's a must. I bought this, another one I bought from Midtown, but Absolute Batman #9, the first appearance of Bane. This is signed by, or Absolute Bane, signed by Scott Snyder. So yeah, from Midtown. Pretty cool. Be nice to get Dragotta's signature on this as well at some point. Again, Absolute Superman, the Noir edition #1, signed by Rafa Sandoval. Look how, man, that signature on here, his signature is like superb, man. It looks so good. And the white ink on this cover, man, he knows what he's doing, man. And again, this is the cover A, main cover, Absolute Superman #1. So far, just Rafa Sandoval. Jason Aaron, I'm going to get him to sign both of these. These are 2 of the covers. I got some other ones. This was the DC All-In Special. They did the logo foil variant, the DC logo, with Scott Snyder signing this. So there's some other signatures I could potentially get on here. So can't wait for that. And then the Absolute Batman #1 logo foil variant with Dragotta and Snyder signing this as well. So that's awesome. Again, Absolute Superman #1 with Rafa Sandoval. Jason Aaron's going to sign this. Can't wait. Might as well, right? And then DC versus Marvel, the original DC versus Marvel from the 90s. I got the first, there was only 4 issues of that, but I got all 4 issues right here. And all 4 issues are signed by Dan Jurgens and Mark Rubenstein. And there's some other signatures that I can get too. Dan Jurgens, Rubenstein, Rubenstein, Dan Jurgens. Dan Jurgens and Rubenstein on issue 3, and then Jurgens and Rubenstein right there on issue 4. So pretty cool. Hopefully I can get some more signatures on that. And then some more Youngblood, guys. So I got another issue or copy of that Golden Apple variant, but this one is without the chisel, just the signature, of course. And this is, I forget who did this variant for Youngblood Deluxe, but Liefeld signed this for the Youngblood Deluxe #1, the COA, the Youngblood COA. Just the cover A for Youngblood Deluxe #1, Rob Liefeld signature. Deadpool Team Up #1 with the Rob Liefeld variant, and of course he signed it. And then Deadpool Bad Blood #1, Rob Liefeld signed it right there, to John. Same thing with Deadpool Badder Blood, same deal, he signed it. And Deadpool Black, White, and Blood, I got Daniel Warren Johnson to sign this, but there's other names I could get to sign this, but yeah, pretty cool. I might be okay with just D-Dub signing this and that's it. But yeah, because I mean, honestly, other than Deadpool being my favorite character, he's really the main reason I got this book was Daniel Warren Johnson, because he did that. I'd love to see him do more Deadpool stuff, but look, more Rob Liefeld. Captain America #1 that he did. Yep. Last Blood Final Stand #1, and he signed that. I don't have a COA, but I do have the packing slip on the back that shows that I bought it or whatever. I'm not gonna show that because I have my address and everything on it. I'm not gonna show that, but yeah. Last Blood Final Stand #1 signed. And I got this because, man, this is the only time Rob Liefeld has done anything Batman. Yeah, we all know this. Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween variant cover, and he signed it right there. It looks pretty cool. And Brigade #1, going back to some 90s nostalgia, Liefeld signed it along with Marat Michaels, which is pretty cool because they both did work on here. So that's pretty cool. And then Deadpool #1 from Alyssa Wong's run. She's so cool, man. I got her to sign this, so she signed it. And then she had like these little doodle things that she could draw. So it was so funny because I was like, I want to get a little sketch from you, which was a doodle. And it was funny because like she was like, oh boy, she was kind of nervous or whatever. She's like, I'm not an artist, but she did it up. It was pretty cool. But yeah, she got that. That was really cool. She did a good job. I like it. I'm proud of you, Alyssa. The signature, yeah, pretty awesome. And then this Skottie Young. I think this is the only Batman stuff. Well, up until this point, I think this might have been his first thing he did with Batman. I don't know if he's did anything since, but this is at least the first thing he's done with Batman. But Batman Offworld, #1, signed by Skottie Young. Skottie Young cover. I'm going to get Jason Aaron to sign this as well, because he wrote this. And then Superman, The Death of Superman. This was like the 30th anniversary special that they did a couple of years ago. But I got this in Brazil. This is in Portuguese. But Dan Jurgens signed it right here. Now, I think, did Brett Breeding? No, just Dan Jurgens signed this right there. So yeah, pretty cool. He thought this was pretty cool when he seen this too, like looking through it and seeing everything in Portuguese, and it was pretty cool. So I got that. And then, of course, Superman #1. They kicked off this amazing Superman run that is going on right now. But Superman #1 signed by Joshua Williamson. And again, just like that star on that Justice League cover, he liked to do a little outline on. Yeah, he did that with the S on here too. It's kind of his thing, I guess. And we're almost there. Action Comics 1051, signed by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Right there. And got a little personalized. So that's pretty cool. First supersized issue. Cool stuff. Now, this is Superman Unlimited #1. Got this from Midtown Comics. And I believe, this is a Midtown exclusive Dan Mora cover for Superman Unlimited #1, but only Dan Slott signed it. Hopefully one day I get Dan Mora on there. And then just the main cover, Superman Unlimited #1 from Midtown, again signed by Dan Slott. So that's pretty cool. And the last book, Batman. This is Batman 158, the first book in the Hush Tua run, but this is a David Nakayama cover of that run. So yeah, of Hush 2. Got it from Midtown. So David Nakayama signed it right here. Nice cover, right? Nice cover. Catwoman and Batman in the background. So yeah, guys, I hope you stuck around. I hope you enjoyed it. Longer video than I was kind of anticipating it being fairly long. But hope you stuck around. And yeah, man, I really enjoy having signatures on certain books. I'm going to cut back from here on out, just because it's such a process for me, going to these different conventions, and I want to be able to enjoy more of the convention other than standing in line and getting signatures, which is a cool experience. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like I miss out on other things. So yeah, so I'm really kind of like narrowing down and tightening up the signature aspect of conventions for myself. So I can't wait. Got MegaCon coming up next month, Heroes Con in June, and then in July I'm going out to San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con. I'm so excited about that. I can't wait. So if you're going to any of those conventions, let me know, man. It'd be cool to meet some more people. So guys, let me know what you thought of all these books that I got signed, man, and shown off. What books do you have that are autographed, man? Because like it's such a cool thing. It's such a cool thing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it once again, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.